Buddy, this is Ironically Patrick, and today we're going to show you how to build a modern house. Now, it's pretty much just a lot of straight lines, a lot of windows, a basic modern look. So this is my interpretation of that. Take it or leave it. So we're going to teach you how to build this structure today. So usually what I do is I'll start with the corner pieces. When I was working on this with Flutter Gamer, we decided that having these corners in a darker color would be cool. Didn't like after I got done building this. Really, I mean, white stained clay should really look white. So we're going to change that, and we're going to use quartz blocks since we're in creative mode. So we're going to do that, and we're going to use this basic structure here as our model, and we're going to go over here, and we're going to build it. So we're not going to do all of the embellishments, some of the things that are inside it, because it'll take too long. Basically, we're going to build these corner pieces up to a height of 8. I think that's 8. And this initial wall out in front is about 4 out. So there's going to be a second pillar of white right here. And then there's going to be a cross beam there. And then this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the right height. And that will be the one corner on the far side over there. And then out extended 4 blocks out, there's going to be another wall going up for the bedroom. So that's 4 spaces. So this will be the 5th. Take that out of there. Take that out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we'll connect that across. That'll be the upper roof line. And then in between, we're going to have 6 blockses. I can talk, really, I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then from there down, we're going to build up this wall or this post. If I'd hit the right spot, that would be a miracle. My building skills are not strong. Okay, so that's where that will go. We'll build the next white pillar right here. And again, the other corner piece, if we go over here and look, there, if you noticed when we first showed it, there's a glass panel that goes floor to ceiling right there on the side. So we're going to build that up right here on this corner. And then one detail, I don't know if you've noticed, but in the building, I'm actually digging out underneath, and I'm going to have to do this way because I already put that glass block there. But I put that quartz block underneath so that when you're looking at the glass, it has a better look than just looking at grass or dirt or something like that, because who wants to look at dirt? Okay, so then the next piece we do is the porch area is 3 blocks high, which means the floor is at 4. So that's 4 there. Same over here. And also the same right here. So this is going to be the bedroom area that's in the front of that house over there, above the overhang porch area. So that's what that will look like. And because it's a modern house, I've been using a light plank or wood, because that seems to go with the whole modern theme. Light and airy. And then we'll just wall it in with some brick. Some glass brick. So that's that part. And like I said, we're not going to bother with all of the internal stuff. We'll show that to you afterwards. But, you know, it's your house. You can do with it what you want. You can put a bed in here or on one wall or the other wall. It doesn't make too much difference. So that's what the front of the house looks like, and that's a pretty good start. Let me finish off this one wall over here. And then we'll put across the cross beam here. And there's one on here. We'll worry about the insides of the house afterwards. And then for the top, I'm just using these gray stone slabs that are kind of clean looking. And then I just put the ceiling on like this. So that would be the bedroom area of the house. Whoops. That was not skilled. Okay, so now we've got a place to sleep. Now down on the ground floor, what I've done is I've offset where the doors would be. So I do this to build where the doors are going to be. And I don't remember if I did glass above the doors or not. I don't really even know if that matters, but I did do the glass. It's kind of a cool look. That's what I was thinking. And then under here, we will dig these out and put our white. And then for the door, I will put the wood planks because that's what's going to be there. So the doors to the outside, I always thought that these acacia doors kind of look like a modern door. And then again, right here, we're just going to have the brick, the glass brick. And then for the porch area, I just dig all this out. And remember, folks, don't dig down too far, or you'll end up dying or flying out into the nothingness that is underneath these worlds of ours. So be careful how deep you go. It's going to be really important when we get to the point where we're doing the swimming pool. There's a lot of different options you can take in this house building too. It's all up to your taste. This is just a framework for you. Okay, so we'll just cap this off. Bear with me while I just do this up quick. If you're building this in creative, then you don't worry about how many blocks you're using. But if I'm in the survival mode, what I will typically do is I will just use one layer of blocks like this, and I won't put them all the way to the ground. It saves you some resources, if that's what you're into. Okay, so this is what I would have built for the lower level. Like I said, I'm not going to go ahead and do all of these special little trees or flowers or stuff. That's up to you and personal taste. So what we're going to do is we're going to go inside and we'll take a look. So when you come in, you're going to end up having a fourplex. I just thought it would be really cool to do the floor with this kind of funky look when you put in the trunks of a birch tree. So if you look at this, there's basically just 4 or 3 oak trunks going all the way to the ceiling. So we'll start probably with that structure and then fill in the rest of it. I don't have this by memory, so I apologize about going back and forth, but hey, you're watching me. Okay, so we'll come in here. And one mistake I made already is I'm going to have to replace the acacia doors because I didn't put them in correctly. So we'll put, whoops. I just hate putting those down. You got to be so precise with that. Okay, so there we go. And if you remember, what we did next is we had a little, oops. This is all going to be filled in with flooring, but this is just so I know where these pillars went. So these pillars will go floor to ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the third one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that'll be that framework. And then we'll end up just filling all this in with the birch planks to give the floor a really cool look. Okay, so we're going to start with that. And the next thing we want to look is we'll look at this outside wall over here. And if you notice, again, we've got that kind of cool looking little one window panel right there. And then this is a little different in size. It's only 5 in this panel of glass blocks as opposed to the front, which is 6 glass blocks. So I did that on purpose to give the house a less square look to it. And again, we've got the corners, so that's what we're going to build next is the outside wall. So go back to our quartz, and the first section wall will be right here. Whoops. Bam. There we go. And then we're going to have 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our next pillar will be right here. Man, I'm just missing my guesses today. One more. And there's that. And then the very next one that we do is going to be this one, which is going to be that corner pillar that you see right over there. Okay, so that's the outside wall. So we'll go back over here and we'll look at this wall just to make sure we know what this one looks like. And wow, what do you know? It looks pretty much the same, except this is going to be a 3 wide. And it lines up with that birch pillar, and this one lines up with the birch pillar. And we did kind of a trick to get those trees to grow. We just put some dirt under there. We'll show you that in a minute. So I'm just getting a look at how all this lays out. Now, this wall is going to be looking different on this side of the house because we got the kitchen coming off this side. So we're going to have a 2-panel, and that's to support the structure of the stairs right there you see inside. And then this is going to be a 2-panel here because of the opening to come out onto the pool deck. So just to keep everything in line. So over here we come. Again, we have another corner piece. It's the little design feature that I like. So you're going to have that gap, and then you're going to have a gap of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another pillar here. And you're going to have a 2. And then you're going to have another corner. Oops, missed the spot again. That is the brilliance that is, ironically, Patrick. Okay, so far this is starting to come together. Okay, now on this section again, remember we had that little 5-point section. So that is our basic structure of the house, just in case anybody cares to know. So we'll start building in some wall and everything as we go. So, just to make this easier to access, I'm going to blast out a little bit of this glass section here so we can fly in and out. Okay, so looking inside, that's the corner. We got the stairs going up, and on the ground floor, we've got a double wide section of wall here. We got a corner piece right there, and that's what this is looking like. And again, it's going to be that same 3-high ceiling. Okay, so we're going to run back over and we're going to build this wall. So we got on the first floor, it's going to be 2 high. And then up there, it's going to be 1 high with windows, which is what it's going to look like. And then below it, just for the kitchen opening, that's what it's going to look like. Okay, so off we go. Flap through our hole again. So that's where the kitchen wall is. If you remember on this side, it was like this, and then there's a 4 wide, and then this is all going to be glass block here, so we're just going to dig these out. Bang, bang. Extend this up to the ceiling. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, now back over to the other side again. And on here, it's basically all window here. It's a 6-wide pane. This end, there's a couple of panes on the sides, but otherwise there's going to be some spaces for all the kitchen boxes and whatnot that you want. We got the ceiling's got a little design pattern to it, and then we got a 6 pane on that side. And again, the corners are going to be the black that we like to use as accents. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we go up like this. And then on this side, same thing again. 1. Oops, put the glass brick out, Patrick. Alrighty. Blast that off. So this is the way this will look. And we'll put the extender piece in between. Same here. Get rid of that. So that's the main part of the kitchen. Okay. Next up, we have this on each side, if you remember from our model over there. And then what I've done in the past is inside of here, as I get out the stoves, and I put a pair of stoves in here. And then I also get out a pair of making tables. And put those above. And then above that, just for fun, I put some boxes. Now here's the tough part about this. You can't put this here like this. So that is what led me to build that structure beyond it. So for a moment, we're just going to use a couple of flat pieces to allow the boxes to open. And then behind it, we'll go ahead and grab some more of the quartz block. And we just build a structure behind it like this. So that's kind of how this is going to look going forward, boys and girls. And use correct blocks, and that's what the back end structure looks like. It's kind of cool. So then the next piece I do is I start a ring of these kind of blocks around the top to give it that consistency with the other areas for the roof. I build that all the way around, and then to give it a skylight appeal or look, I'm going to put some glass block in the middle. Pardon my little frame rate problem there, but it doesn't always refresh quite correctly. So that is what this whole thing looks like so far. And then what I do up here is to finish off this wall, and I'm just going to go over and peek at this again just to make sure I've got it right. But I believe that upper wall is all glass. Yes, it is. So that's cool. We got that correct. And the only other piece that I would do then is I can make this little structure right here, because that's just more of a skylight from the upper area. Okay. You guys following this all so far? Hopefully you are. And so what we're going to do is we're going to fill in with our quartz blocks using the whole block again. We're going to go over this way. We're going to go over this way. And we're just going to fill this in. So that's what that's going to look like. Now, down into the house we go. So we're going to dig out some of this, and we're going to put in some of this birch flooring that we like so much. What I've done in the past with the flooring over in the kitchen is I've used a different kind of flooring. You can use whatever you like, but I'll show you that in just a moment as well. So this is what the main room floor will look like, is all of this interesting birch stumps. Okay, so that's what that's going to look like. We'll go over and finish it up over here. Now, if you may have noticed when we were in the previously built house, there's a concept there that we have for the second story. So we're going to build that along with the stairway. So the stairway starts here. You jump up, you have a little platform, and then you go straight up to the bedroom, and that's where the door for the bedroom is. This is kind of a cool looking structure here. Going inside here, you can see how that looks. It's a nice look, interesting look. I wanted to try and keep it consistent inside here, so I didn't extend that glass wall all the way to the corner. I thought that would be a little bit of a goofy look. So whichever way, like I said, there's design options here. If you wanted to, you could take this, blast that out like this, and just fill that in with block if that's the look you were liking better. That's totally a personal option there. So I will go ahead and build this staircase structure just like this. Build that up here, and then if you look at this balcony area up here will be 3 wide or in line with that first post. It extends out a little bit upstairs to give it kind of an overlook balcony appearance, so that's kind of cool. So that's just 2 blocks, and it ends at the second post, and then you've got the stairs going up to the upper floor over here in the corner. So let me fly up if I can over this fence. Can't do that, so we'll just fly over here. Just looking at it real quick, that's where it goes up, so you can see that. So we'll start building all that in just a moment. Oh, I love it when I'm carrying around glass blocks and I just start sticking them in random places. That's what Van Gogh or Picasso would do, right? Okay, so back around the other side so we can get in and out easily. Why are chickens laying eggs all over my compound? I just don't understand. Chickens are a strange beast. Okay, so we're going to get out the blocks. And if you remember, this is what this looks like. And then we're going to need to get out some stairs. So 1, 2 like that. Oh, an upside down stair. Kind of like that. And one more level high, and that's the stairs. And we just fill this in with just some birch wood. Extend that all the way out to the corner, and that's what that looks like. And we can actually fill this in right here. And again, one thing to just keep in mind, and I'm just going to show you this really briefly, but right here, I'm just filling that under with the quartz blocks here, just so it has a cleaner, more appealing look when I put the glass blocks all the way through. Why don't I just do that all the way around and it's done, right? You would think I would think of that. And if you end up covering it up with something else later, that's fine. Who cares? There we have that. And I don't remember what these were, but we'll do that too. Okay. So that's what the stairs are looking like. And if you remember, we had a little balcony up here that looked like this. And it went out 4 here. And this went across like that. And this was that upper decking area and also the lead in to out onto the pool deck. So that's what that's going to look like. There we go. It's all starting to come together a little bit right there, right? Okay. Then the other piece we have to build in is we have to build in this wall of glass block. So bear with me while I do that. Just a little bit more to go. And then we build the stairs up to the next level right here. It's kind of a cool look because, you know, in true modern houses, you can see the stairs through from outside and stuff. So that's kind of that non-traditional look that the modern design inspires. Okay, so that's what that's going to look like. And we're getting a little closer to our design goals. So the next thing I'm going to show you is this upper area. I just put some roof on the top of these. Now, again, this one could easily lend itself to that sky roof, skylight type format. This as well could be skylight, but I covered it up. Not sure why, I just did. And then once you're over here, you fill in these sections like this to support your grass upstairs. And then we put a ceiling, a false ceiling underneath it. So here's what we're going to do. We'll connect all these together. That's going to support all of that kind of information. And let's see here. Phone was ringing in the background, so I apologize for that minor distraction. Okay. And let's go ahead and I put in a grass block right there and there. If you see where those trees are, that's what's going in those spots. Okay. And I put it in the wrong spot. Grass over here for that other tree. We'll put that one back in the way we're supposed to. Bang, bang. Struggling with my birch log placement today. Okay, so that's what this is going to look like upstairs. So for this particular installment, I'm going to go with the original look of this block up here. And the reason I did that, I believe, is that I would bang my head on the stairs when I was coming up, but I don't even recall if that's true or not. So I just think that that's kind of a cool and clean look, just like that. And that's what that's going to look like. Let's see, what did I do over here? So I did put a little bit of a green grass area right there, so that's all cool. So let me pull these down, bang and bang, and go like that. Okay, so what you can do now is we'll pull out these grass blocks. We're going to fill all this in with grass to make our upper patio area. Because, you know, if I was a modern person, and not as old as I am, I would want grass on my roof. Who wouldn't? Then you can have a couple of sheep up here, and they can mow your grass for you. Doesn't that sound just cool as heck? Okay, so now for a design element that I added in, I just plant a birch tree here and a birch tree here. It kind of appeals from just a logical standpoint to extend the birch posts underneath, even though that makes no sense. And there we go. We've got two trees. Now, the ones over there turned out different sizes. These are the same size. Makes no difference. And then what I also did is I put a couple of chaise lounges here. And I'm sure you guys all know how to build these, but I'll just do that and that. And then what I did is I put an umbrella in the middle. So I'll just take some, I don't care what kind of wood it is. I'll just make an umbrella, bang. Oh, if I could do this correctly, that would be amazing. Okay, and then you just do that. And get out some wool. Let's see, we'll go with white wool, and we had some red wool in the middle there, if you can see that. Helps if you hit your target when you're putting wool. Okay. So that's what I did that. And then, you know, as far as the other color on the umbrella, you can pick whatever you want. I tend to like red here, so I'll just put the red in there. And that's your umbrella. That's kind of a cool look. So that's what that's going to look like. So if you can see from the top, that's what we've got. We've got the stairwell built. We've got the roof basically constructed. So now we're going to go back inside and we'll just do some finishing work. And we have to build a pool. So down here in this level, we're going to go ahead and blast all of the flooring out, and we're going to put in our birch wood. So bear with me while we do that. The tedious part of building, filling in the gaps. There. Okay, now let's fly up in the air a little bit. Getting a little air under yourself helps place these trunks the correct way, because otherwise you end up placing like this, and that's just a pain in the butt. So get up in the air. You can place them straight down. It's a lot easier. And we'll just buzz through this really quick. Hopefully you're not all completely bored with my little building right here. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Just for some safety elements, I build this out a little bit. I put a little fence there so people can't fall through the cracks and hurt themselves. Now, the lower level, I put some furniture in the home that I built, but I'm not going to spend your time doing that. We'll give you a tour of the other house, and you guys can choose what of it you want to use and what you don't. Everybody knows how to build some furniture, I'm sure. And that's where we're at with that. So in here, what I did for a flooring element is I'll just fly over there and take another peek at it real quick so I can show you guys. And then another piece that we have to do is finish up the bedroom wall. So I just did that with obsidian and just some, you know, the white granite look. I put some countertops and a little kitchen sitting table area, dining area, whatever you will, right there. So that's what that'll look like. And then when we go up here, again, remember how I constructed this with, we'll put another acacia door, we'll build this wall up. We're not going to put the furniture in here, but you can do that any way you care to. Okay? So we'll go back over and take care of all of that. And then we just have to build this little opening and build the pool, which I'm going to show you that. It's a pretty simple design. Nothing extravagant. Okay, so upstairs we go. So I kind of liked it the way I looked when I just did this with glass block. So we're just going to continue that look here. We're going to make this a 2-wide glass block. You know, in modern homes, there is no such thing as privacy. We're going to build this wall up. We're just going to do it like that. Now, one thing you may have noticed is when I looked up there, it's really odd to see that floor. So what I did is I took a bunch of the flat block like this. Where is it? This one. And I just covered the roof, and I made it like a ceiling. Wherever the dirt is above, that's how I did it. So it just gives it a different look, makes it look a little cleaner. Fall off there, and then we just throw that false ceiling up there. And it kind of goes with the design elements that we've already got in place with the ceiling in the bedroom and a partial in the kitchen with the sunlight, or the sunroof, or whatever you want to call it, skylight, also in place. So this kind of completes that look, makes it look all clean, and that's how you can make it look presentable. Okay, back in here we go. Dig this out. I kind of like that checkered look in the kitchen. It kind of makes it look kitchenish feeling. The other thing that I noticed I did not do is I didn't dig out underneath the glass walls to put the quartz blocks in there, just to make it look kind of nice instead of looking at grass underneath our walls. I'm only digging out underneath the windows because that's the only stuff you're going to see. Fail. Bang. Okay. So now we'll get out the obsidian, and we'll get out the, I think I'm going to go with the non-polished blocks because that actually looked better. So the way I build this, just to keep quick about it, is I do each layer and then I place the next color over the top of the ones that are in the pattern already. Kind of makes it go quicker. It's just a quick way to throw some flooring on the ground. You see how I'm doing that? And that kind of gives that kitchen a cool little look. And this is what it looks like. Again, I'm not going to bother putting in all of the furniture and stuff. You guys can see that in the other design. Okay. So this is kind of what we're looking like at this point. The only thing we have left to do, and I got to get my glass blocks, is to finish up this wall and these corner walls. Okay, so we're just going to do that real quick. Now, the one thing I believe I did on the other wall is I used and put the half wall up at 4 high right here to support the patio look outside. So we'll just build in these bricks like this. And we're basically done. Okay, so now what I did is I decided that I would have a patio and have my swimming pool out here. Now there's a couple of ways to look at this. I built it like this originally with the patio right outside, but it does lend to this dead area here. So for this construction of it, I'm going to build it a little bit different, if you bear with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the patio out this way, I believe, this time. And I'm going to put this little block wall like this. And then I'm going to put the pool actually to line right up with these windows, and we're going to put the pool basically right next to these windows so you can see the pool from inside the house. So that looks like a big enough pool for today. So that'll be it, right like that. And we just extend it over. If that looks good to you. Looks good to me. It's not as big a pool as this, just to save you guys some time. You can build it at any size you want. I put some stairs in it to make it look cool. I got a diving board, so that's a kind of a cool looking element as well. And then I just build out these corners like that. One thing I could do if I wanted to is I could certainly build the corners in the black, which is kind of a design element I had throughout the building, so I'm going to do that right now. And I believe I didn't do that over there. So just a little thing I'm going to add in. Another thing you could do if you want is it would be very easy to extend the pool over to this corner and make it that 2 extra wide, but not necessary at this point. And this is just to give the pool a kind of a cool, very modern look. It's all going to be out of glass block. Just a nice little element there. Now, one thing you could do is you could extend the pool underneath your deck, which I am not going to do because I think that would be probably a dangerous thing to do from a safety perspective with your Minecraft Steves and other people. Okay, so this does look like it's going to be a little bit of a smaller pool. I'd probably make it a little bigger in my real world. But that's what it will look like. We can fill it in with water, and what I also do is, since I'm using the quartz blocks and not the stained, I can put in like actual real steps to get down into the pool. I usually don't extend that all the way down to the floor because once you're that deep, you're kind of into water up to your neck, so you don't need stairs all the way down. And then the other piece that I did that was kind of interesting is I dug this down, if you noticed in the other pool, to make it a little deeper. And I would dig it down, and I think what I did is I dug it all the way down to the nether, to the bedrock, but no further than that. Just like this, and then I used the obsidian as my base, like this. And I dug it all the way out, all the way around. I don't go underneath the stairs because that's, again, a dangerous design element for your Minecraft people. People tend to drown underneath the water when they're underneath the surface like that. Try it with pigs. Pigs would die too. Or better yet, spawn some creepers in here and let them drown. Okay, so we're just going to finish this up really quickly. Just being careful not to go too far. We don't want to be falling out of the bottom end of the world. That would be unpleasant. Now the other thing I'm going to do here is I'm forgetting to dig all the way down around it to give it the white look on the side, so I have to dig all around here and fill this in like this. Kind of a cool element to it. I don't have to go down to the bedrock level because it's all just going to be covered up with the obsidian. Okay, so let me finish up these little parts. There's a method to my madness, honestly, guys. Okay. And we fill this in with the white quartz, make it nice and cool looking, inviting, all of that. And again, you don't have to worry about that lower level block because it's going to be covered up in the corners. So this is what you end up with. Another cool element that I like to add is to light the pool, I will put these into the corners, however you want to do it. You know, a little bit bigger pool, you can put in whatever little patterns you want. But that's kind of how I would do it. And then you just take your water and you start filling it in. I don't know if this is going to be the best technique for filling it in. Sometimes I have to... Oh! I've got a water leak. That's so disappointing. Okay. Almost done with the water filling process. Okay, so that's always going to be a challenge when you're doing it this way, just so you guys see that. But the challenge that I have is that first top stair is going to look goofy with the water. Now, there's a couple ways to combat that. I was waiting to show you this, but if you don't want to do the stairs like that, you just do them like this. And then it's just a full stair. Just like that, and it looks fairly cool. So that's what your whole house will look like. Another piece that you can do is you can add a little doorway here, doorway system, whatever you want to call it. Oops. And you could build a little patio at the backside if you want. I would extend it out using the same gray blocks that we've been using in the past. From here, you can kind of put these out and maybe extend it out to like here or something like that. It would be kind of a cool little deck area if you wanted to do that. So we're going to do that really quick. Why not? You can watch your friends swimming. So this is the design element that I didn't have in the one that I built over on the other side. That what I was using as my model. So hopefully you guys can get the picture of that, what that looks like. And we'll just start covering this up. Got a little nice little, yeah, you can come out here and have your coffee in the morning. I don't know about you, but I got to have my coffee in the morning. Particularly Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Dunkin' Donuts coffee rules. Alright, so that's kind of what I built. That's the house as a whole. Just adding in some last second items like actually putting doors. If you want to use different doors at certain points other than the acacia doors, feel free. You can make this pool, like I said, you could extend it out to the corner. You could simply just extend it out this direction further if you wanted a bigger pool. And then the other thing that I usually would do is I will just build it out of these cut. But typically what I like to do is I like to put a diving board. And of course you wouldn't put a diving board that close to the stairs because you're inviting somebody to get killed. But you can do it that way. And then just to complete the look, let's put some stairs on the outside of it. Bang! And there you've got a diving board. Very simple look. So if you come back over here, you can see where I put the furniture, making sure that I put some lights on the top. I just used some nether rack fence posts to give it a better look. Put some lighting up here. Down in this level, I put a little lighting on the fence posts on the balcony. I put some tables, some furniture. If you don't know how to build that, you can look that up anywhere online. So that's what that would look like. Again, I finished out the kitchen. I put a couple of beds in the bedroom, which is right over here. Put a couple of Chester drawers or whatever you want to do there. And again, I made this particular home out of the white stained brick or stained clay, and it really is pink. I don't know why they don't fix that. So I did it out of the quartz over here. But if you were obviously building in the survival mode, you could do this. You'd probably have to do quite a bit of mining in the nether to get that much. And then all of these trees and stuff that I put out, I just sprinkled them out. I built these type of bushes. It's just a fence post with a couple of pieces of leaves on top. Put some plants and some flower pots out just to give it a look. And I thought these would kind of look like a balsa tree if anybody's familiar with balsa trees. That's what those are supposed to emulate. And there you have the Ironically Patrick modern house. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Leave a like. Let me know if there's other things you'd like me to build. Look for more tutorial builds coming soon. Peace out. This is Ironically Patrick.